Welcome to Cannabis School. I'm your host, Jesse Angeles.
And I'm Brandon Elder.
And we're here to talk to you about everything pertaining to cannabis, from vape,
flower,
edibles,
strains,
and everything in between.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. I've got another strain review today. So what we're going to be talking about is what Brandon just hit.
A little Jack Herrera.
Jack Herrera. You know, Jack Herrera, like seeing pictures of that guy, I mean, kind of like maybe in one stage of the Dos Equis guy, he could have been there. Stay cottonmouth, my friends.
I don't know if I've ever seen Jack Herrera. We're going to put a picture up and you guys are going to see it because we're going to, oh shit, all right. All right. A little bit more haggard version of the Stay Frosty, my friends.
Yeah. Stay
Dos Equis?
cottonmouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay cottonmouth, my friends, But this is a fantastic. Now, we reviewed this before. We reviewed it in a vape cartridge, which wasn't bad. It was really
Some hot
good.
dog
I liked
water
it.
back then.
Hot dog water, definitely.
But we didn't, well, I mean, to be fair, I don't know if there was many live resins or rosins on the market. Distillates were primarily the main concentrate that you could get on the market. I'm excited. First puff on this all day. First puff of flower.
Oh, it's so good. And I'm going to turn off my background filter because it's just weird.
You're not high enough to be in space?
No, it's just like my recliner.
So this one's Betty Wellness, or Betty Wellness Grow. And it has like terpinolene, beta-carotene, humulene, and beta-myrcene. I don't feel really coffee on it though.
No.
It's very
No.
mild.
Yeah, very mild. Take a good amount of it. I would smoke a good amount before we really get into the conversation. Now,
It feels like it'll be a creeper. Yeah.
it is. It's a bit of a creeper. It's very heady, but it's very kind of a happy-go-lucky strain. Can I get stuff done on it?
That's what I was
Sure.
seeing. It was supposed to be very good for focused and happy, a little bit for pain. People still
Yeah.
use it for pain. So,
Well, it's not known for its GI help. I'm kind of glad that I've given myself Crohn's disease, pretty much. I,
yeah.
for those who don't know, I have type 2 diabetes and I am on a GLP-1, which is it's a peptide that helps out with regulating blood sugars. And so this particular one, it just wrecks my gut at least once, sometimes twice a week. And I got to find a good strain to help with it.
What have you
I've
found been recently has been helping a lot?
a lot of Candyland and hot dog water, and I've
Okay.
got to hit that like 5, 6 times.
But it does have cannabis-derived terps. So,
So
yeah.
it's not bad,
Yeah.
right? But it's
It's like,
Polish dog water,
yeah,
not just hot dog,
it's like
like
Nathan's
high
hot
grade.
dogs. Yeah,
Yes.
they're like the kosher dogs. Yeah, you get Nathan's. This is Nathan's hot dog water. Yeah.
Yeah. What?
All right, so
Uh,
Candyland. So,
Candyland, but Jack Herrera has been recently one I've gone to in flower. This is a very smooth
okay.
flower.
So
Lots of
maybe if you have
trichomes.
IBS or Crohn's,
It can
Candyland, or
help.
even Jack might be.
But honestly, it's like one of the best mood setters because you could, now, if you smoke a good amount of it, I tried it. I smoked a bowl and a half just to see like if I had a lot, what it would do
Mhm.
to me. And when you go a lot, it can be sedative a little bit. I ended
Interesting.
up taking a nap.
I
Normally
wouldn't
don't
have
take
guessed that.
naps,
Yeah.
but it was a good amount. Like, and it was like I finished the bowl. And I was like, I think I could have done a little bit more. I smoked that. But the thing is, too, is that like with cannabis, and I was always thinking about this just yesterday when I was smoking out of my little MJ Arsenal bubbler, the
Okay. Yeah.
one that's like a pipe.
Yeah. Love
I
that one.
like that one. It's a good one. And I was just like, I don't know why, but I want this experience to last a little bit longer. I don't want to feel like I'm a Marine eating a meal and
Yeah.
it's gone. But that's just the way it is. With cannabis, that's just the way it is.
So do you feel like this Jack Herrera is pretty short-lived with the
N-
experience?
No, I just want to smoke longer.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Well, I
Yeah.
did notice this one, and maybe a lot of other ones are different, but this one has like 15 to 16% THC. It's not a very high dose, It does have minor CBDA, CBG, and CBGA, but pretty minor on the THC
Hmm.
as well. I do feel it pretty much in my head. Like it
Yeah.
was pretty instant, but very subtle. It's,
Yes.
yeah, but I feel it in the back, on the base of my skull, and then just filling up the inside of my head. But it's not hazy. I feel very clear. And it definitely has been a mood booster. Like I wasn't in a down mood, but I was just kind of, was I feeling antsy? I don't know. This has just kind of like made everything a little bit better,
Yeah, this
you
is a
know?
very good. I like from the time I've had with it, I'm just like, what's really good about this is it keeps my focus, but it also keeps me happy. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go through my day. If you've got something you got to deal with, this Jack is awesome for that. My
Oh
wife
yeah.
just had her car wreck, right?
Yeah.
And we were right in the middle of recording, and we had to. That's why we're doing like this today. And I was so chill. I got home, and my wife was like not doing okay. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna step over here and have some Jack. And dude, seriously, changed my mood. I wasn't even mad to begin with, but I was just like, eh. And she was upset. And I said, maybe you need some Jack. But it's really good. I've always liked Jack Herrera, a good friend of ours, Miguel.
Oh, he loves Jack.
Yeah, he loves Jack Herrera. I love Jack. Love it. I was just like, yeah,
Fantastic. Well, if
it's
you
okay.
guys are looking for Jack, you can also check out our Cannabis School approved page
Yeah.
on Cannabis School's website. That has been coming out. You'll notice there's going to be dispensaries, qualified medical providers, as well as just really cool products that you might use in cannabis that you didn't know you needed.
Yeah, this will be coming out really soon. We have so many companies that have been super warm and open to this. So go check out our website. If you're on that website and it's still not up, I guarantee it is. But if it's hey, let us know. Visit it. Go to the website. Check it out. Let us know what you think about it. And
And
we're going to
send
be
us an
bringing,
email. Go, hey,
yeah,
I want to be part of Cannabis School approved. Shoot us
yeah,
a message.
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, man. I love this Betty Wellness and I know, a lot of their whole process as far as what gets decided on what goes to what brand, but I really like this. When you look at it, like the buds, they're so dusted with trichomes. It's very frosty. It's a mild taste too, some gassy notes. I've noticed some gassy notes.
I'm not really like a little diesel in the back of my throat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Um,
Tiny.
like subtlest hint. It is
Yeah, that
all around.
sourness.
I would say like the flavor profile is pretty subtle. It does have like, what is that flavor? Maybe it's the beta carefully I'm also getting, but
Yeah,
there's like some everything about it is very subtle. It's
yeah.
not overwhelming strain. I don't feel like I would be too high, too displaced, or anything out of it. Um, obviously, go low and slow, find what's right dose for you. Um, what was interesting, we'd gone to a Halloween party a couple weeks ago for one of Emily's coworkers, and they're all like 21. They are so fucking young. Yeah. And so we get over there, and I brought housewarming gifts, and I brought several joints because, well, she said they were into greener things, but apparently they'd only done edibles one time and that was it. And she had a bad experience because she took too many and got really high. And I was like, that's okay. Just take one little puff and wait 30 minutes. Do it in a big group of friends and just pass it. Share it with the whole group. You don't need to smoke a ton. She's like, oh, okay, fantastic. And it just kind of made me laugh because I'm like, oh man, yeah, how many people are still out there taking edibles, taking gummies for the first time, popping a whole bunch of them, going, oh, this isn't going to hit me. I saw this. Maybe it was you. Either you or Emily sent me this video. It was this TikTok or something. This guy he's like, oh yeah, I'm a big dude. I'm a big dude. I'm gonna eat this. Alcohol doesn't hit me. What is this? 100 milligrams? Ain't nothing. He just like bites off a whole thing, just eating it, chews the whole thing, puts it in his mouth. He's like, 100 milligrams? Ain't nothing. The guy's like interjecting throughout the video. He's like, yeah, it's because it hasn't hit yet. He's like, doesn't matter how big you are, just wait till it hits. And he's like, 20 minutes in, I feel good. And he's like, yeah, 20 minutes in, you're not feeling shit. And then it's like going through it, and he's like, oh, Oh, damn, yeah. I messed up. Yeah, no kidding, you messed up. Like,
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, it's like
YOLO, go slow.
even this jack, like you're just barely you feel in the head, you will notice that it'll begin to settle in the body slowly. Like I feel it going across my shoulders and down my back and a little bit of like on my rib cages. I don't know why, but it's just so relaxing at that point. And that's the indicator that your tank is getting low and that you need to refill. But this is also a dangerous strain for me because this is something that I could smoke every day, all day.
Oh, yeah. It's a really good daytime strain. I'm starting to get more tinglies in my face now from it, and it like resting on my shoulders. So I'm sure as it progresses, it'll go a little more. But yeah, very face tingly at the moment. A lot in my jaw, a
Yep,
lot through there.
a little
Yeah.
bit. I just feel
Um,
slight, but it's just like right here at the bend. I don't feel it like here, but
it's
I'm
making you
like,
sleepy though.
oh, dude. Like it can for a little bit, like, but it's cool because like it's even sometimes we'll be reviewing a strain or we'll be doing a sesh, and I will take a hit and take another one, and then we'll be talking, and I'll be finding myself drifting a little bit, like when we have a guest, and I'm like, no, don't do it. And like I don't want to be that. That'd be
Oh,
funny
that
though.
was
I'd be
like
all,
me with Super Boof when we just had
oh,
Rationalist on. I was like, Super
ooh.
Boof was making me like hazy and a little slow, and I'm like, all
It was good
right.
though, dude. It was really good. I liked it.
Oh,
But they
props to Dragonfly. Yeah.
Dude, they finally loosened up once we had got that in their system because they were like kind of nervous. I always think it's funny when people are nervous when they come on the pod.
I don't, I guess, had you ever gone on a podcast before we started cannabis school?
No, but I spoke at a lot of things. It's nice because it's very mild, cottonmouth, very, very, very mild. Like you feel a little bit, but it's not something that's under out of control. Not like Super Boof was pretty dry. Black Amber can get pretty dry. It's
Yeah,
kind of crazy, dude. It's almost like wines too, if you think about it. Like you get a dry wine and
that's
you
so
get a
weird.
dry herb.
So after I've had a little drink of water, and it's been a bit, like it's left a flavor or almost like my my tongue feels tingly. It is really interesting because I don't feel that very often with a lot of strains where I actually feel the inside of
Yeah,
my
like
mouth.
tingle. Yeah, you
But I
feel
feel
it
my
almost
entire
everywhere.
inside of my mouth right now.
Oh,
Super
that's
unique.
well, it's so crazy because of the cycle that it goes through. Like right now, like you'll get to a point where you'll feel a little sleepy, but it passes. Like you can tell right now, I'm back. I'm totally fine. I'm not sleepy, but for a
Oh,
second,
he's Slim Shady.
yeah, I'm back. Well, no.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Weird beard.
I will say, I
Yeah.
like this. I haven't really coughed at all through this
Nope.
entire bowl. And I would say it's pretty much done at this point, but that was a nice bowl.
Yeah, it's really nice. You could smoke the whole bowl and not feel like you're going to be in the couch.
Or
This would
two,
be,
I don't feel my heart racing.
nope, not
Like
at
for
all.
being a sativa dominant, I don't feel, yeah, any heart palpitations, any racing, any like, oh,
Mm.
yeah, any
Yeah, it's
tightness.
really nice. Like this would be great if you get somebody in your family is like, what we should do tonight? Let's go look at Christmas lights. Like,
I could get high enough to look at Christmas lights, but
exactly.
I
But if
don't
I
want, so,
Jack Herrera, I'd be happy.
okay, so let me ask you a question.
Yes, I'd bring the venti, of course.
Well, yeah, but do you put your Christmas shit up before Thanksgiving?
No,
Okay, thank God. All
after
right.
Thanksgiving is when it can go up.
Yep,
And
yep.
I'm so glad too, because if not, I'd be putting lights up on my house right now, and I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that.
Yeah, I didn't either. Like, I guess it was hard for me because Christmas for me kind of changed. Like, I left Mormonism or I left Christianity
Yeah.
around the same time that my kids had like left the state. And so it went from like not having the same celebration to not really sure what I believe. And so then going, well, Christmas is all centered around this one thing that I don't really know that I believe in. So then what do I like? It took time to come back around to finding time with that. And I think having kids and family back around definitely helps with that. But yeah, I've not been a big like, oh, Christmas stuff all up. And we have a
What
neighbor who had their Christmas stuff, Christmas decorations up on their yard on November 1st.
the fuck? Them and Walmart, right?
Right.
Like, hey, it's October. It's Christmas stuff. And then now they probably got like fucking what is it? Valentine shit up there. I guarantee it.
I know. Oh man. So I was just before we got on this, I never go on LinkedIn, but I randomly opened it and I was on there. And there's an audience member who had been messaging me back and forth through there. She works in cannabis in the industry, and she was telling me that she listened to our show last night and fell asleep listening to us. And I was like, man, that's kind of interesting. So I wanted to ask the audience, when do you guys listen to the show? What time of day do you guys do it? Do you listen to it in the morning? Do you listen to it when you go to work? Do you listen to it after, like when you smoke and have a sesh? Do
You
you
know what we
listen to
should
it as
do?
you go to bed? What should
Let's
we
put a
do?
poll up. Let's put a
Oh, we
poll up.
will. It'll be
Yeah.
there. Go
Yeah, so
answer
you'll go,
below.
yeah,
We're
click it
just real
out.
curious.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to be able to see when you guys are listening to us, because then, we can start to lower our voice and being able to talk to you as you drift off to sleep.
Bedtime sleepies with Brandon and Jesse.
Yep. Bedtime sleepies.
Get extra high, snuggle up.
And then like halfway through, like we're reading a book, like going, wait a minute, did I just read that fucking page again? I read that page again, like in the middle of the book. And then somebody just starts laughing.
I
You
feel like
wake
it
up to
wouldn't be
somebody
too
laughing.
bad if I was reading it out loud. It's when I'm reading in my head and I'm like, oh, wait. And then my mind gets distracted by a tangent in between thoughts. And so then I get pulled back off. And then I come back and I'm like, wait, did I already read that sentence? Yeah, I think, oh, I read that whole paragraph. Why the fuck am I, you know? That's my
Dude,
problem. And I think that's why I listen to music when I read. Because if I don't, the moments in between words, sometimes my mind gets bored and distracted. And it's like, what about this thought? I'm like, hey, fucker, get back here. And so the music, for some odd reason, just seems to like help the background. I can hum along to music and read at the same time.
hmm
And it just seems to help. I have no idea. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. If
No,
you
this
don't
is
have any of that, get some Jack.
yeah, Jack Herrera is a way better substitute for that one. It just actually reminded me like Saturday morning after the car wreck and all that stuff, and it took us a while to go to sleep. I just stayed up with her so she could kind of still
Process
wind
things.
down.
Oh, yeah.
And so we just looked at stupid shit on like Instagram and Facebook. And the next day, like my son was asking me questions, and I just got done smoking like a good sized bowl of this. And dude, we had a blast talking about video games and just engaging. And that's another thing. Like, one thing I really like about cannabis is it slows me down enough to go and, it doesn't matter right now. Business shit, other shit, other than what's in front of you right now. That's all shit matters. And I mean, it may sound really shitty to some people, but for me, it helps me to be able to disconnect to reconnect.
100%. Well, as I think that's the world's problem. We all are constantly going and it's everything in our mind. And how hard is it for us to shut that off and go, like, stop thinking about all this stupid shit, stop worrying about all this stupid shit, stop,
Right.
and just, like I said, be here. It's the disconnecting to reconnect to your friends, to your family, to the moment, to your surroundings, because like we get so pulled away with every stupid little thing in life,
Right?
you know.
And that it just makes things that much more difficult. Like, dude,
I'm sure the election time, how many
well,
people, everyone was fucking stressed. I feel both sides were stressed. There
yeah,
was
they're
not,
just done.
yeah, and it's like this is a shit show on both sides, and it's looking at it going like, fuck, what do we do? What happens if? And just everyone freaking out, stressing about what
Right?
happens, and it's like, you know, how many people didn't sleep probably for days over that, or weeks, or I don't even know,
I don't know.
and
I was just thinking about this and getting over differences. Like my brother came over and I replaced his rear rotors and brakes. And I planned for an hour and it took 3.5. But
cars.
always. But it was kind of funny because while we were there, he had specific instructions from his wife. And his wife said, don't talk politics, right? Because
Do you
He
guys
has
butt
a
heads?
oh yeah, we're totally different. Well, for his point of view, we are. But as we started being able to talk, I just told him, I said, look, I can have an engaging conversation with you and still have differences, but that's okay. It's okay that we have differences because then we have new ideas that can come from that. You and I can meet in the middle somewhere and discover some type of new possibility. And I said, it doesn't always have to be black and white, red versus blue.
It
I said,
never is black and white, you know.
well, and you know, and I told him, I was like, look, dude, I'm a political nomad. I don't side with either side because I'm not always for that, right? I like Lex Friedman saying like I'm not right, I'm not left, I think for myself. And so whatever way I go is just
Yeah.
my decision. I don't hitch my trailer up to whatever bandwagon. I think that's probably why I don't get into sports because I can't just get behind one team when there's a whole bunch of players and
Well,
they're
and the
all
players
good in their own
change.
way. Yeah, all
And
the
so I'm
time.
like, you know, it constantly changes. And I'm like, okay, so what am I attached to here? Am I attached to the name? Am I attached to the player? Am I attached to the sport? And you know, usually usually with those, I'm not. Like I loved playing sports when I was young.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'll go to a game. Going to a game with a friend sounds like a blast. I would go to a game with a friend or hang out with a bunch of friends to watch like the Super Bowl or the BYU Utah game and just bullshit. Like, sure, why the
Hmm.
hell not? But for the most part, I just, I don't care, you know?
I don't want to pick a side. I'd just rather be able to find out what side I'm just, oh yeah, I get that. And that,
Well,
you know what, dude, that was the most adult political conversation I've ever had with my brother because I removed my opinions and just said, I want to listen to his opinions. And then when there was a time where he may have not had all information, I asked him if he knew about certain things. He said no, he went into it. And I'm like, so this is the opinion I formed on that. And he's like, oh, I didn't see it that way. Like, dude, he was kind of nervous. So I'm like, oh,
oh
your wife
yeah,
said you can't talk about politics, huh? I'm like, why would that happen? And he goes, well, I'm pretty, you know, and whatever his views are his views, and that's okay. But I'll tell
it's
you
the
what,
fear. It's the fear of like, hey, I don't want to cause a rift because I might have a big, and right now, that's like such a polarizing conversation. And we just see so many extremes on social media and the news that it's like, well, crap, what about this human? I can't have a normal logical conversation with this human without it getting heated and emotional or like,
right.
well, why? Can't they just be the same logical human that you are, just with their education or like information they've learned or heard,
Yeah,
you
I don't
know?
necessarily think it's fear. I think it's this whole thing of being right because you're taught that being right is a positive thing. Being wrong is a very negative thing. So yeah, the fear part, I
Yeah.
don't want to be wrong. So I'm going to be so right that even if I am wrong, I'm just going to keep leaning into the wrong to make sure that I'm right because it's like this movie. You ever seen Thank You for Smoking? Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah, I have actually.
Okay, so in that one, he talks. He's got this conversation with his son, and he's talking about ice cream, and they're negotiating, they're arguing, and he says, "Well, you're a chocolate guy, huh?" He goes, "I'm vanilla," and he goes, "Oh, vanilla's lame." He goes, "Well, I heard vanilla is great too, but you know what? Strawberry's great too, and so is butterscotch." He goes, "Yeah, but wait a minute." Why did you change the subject? He goes, well, because you were getting right, because yours was better and your argument was better, so I changed the subject. Now I'm right.
Yep.
And so it's that's all that keeps happening with it. But a lot of it is just an opinion, right? It's like being mad at somebody because they didn't like that, you know, Bilbo Baggins was played by a certain actor instead of another actor. It's
Right.
like, really? You're going to hang it up on that? Like it's so strange. It's like fighting somebody because they picked extra instead of Wrigley's.
There was
Like,
something that I read, actually, it was a TikTok, and it was the other night, and it came across, and it was just interesting because it was on perspective and on like being you no matter what. Because it was like if you're poor and you're struggling, people are going to hate on you. They'll think you're lazy, they'll think you're this. If you're successful and you're wealthy, people are going to hate on you for this, people are going to hate on you for that. So it doesn't matter who you are and what you do, people are going to hate on you no matter what. So you
mhm.
just have to be proud of who you are and what you're doing. And like, there's times that maybe we're going to be wrong. but that's
And that's
fine.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's just learning, right?
Yeah, it's an opportunity to learn because what does that give you? In that moment you're wrong. Well, it means that there's something else that is correct that you just either didn't know or didn't understand. And
or
that gives you
understand
the
about yourself, because then
yeah,
that's when you get the
you get
big
that
change.
opportunity to learn that though and go, hey, here's my chance to make a change, take in this new information, whatever it is, and go, how does that fit in my reality now? How does that play in? Do I have to make a massive shift? Was it a small
Hmm.
change? Or is it like, oh shit, no, I'm a fucktard and I've been doing fucktardery for a long time. Looking in the mirror sometimes and giving ourselves grace and understanding of like, hey, yeah, we're all human, but looking at it and going, hey, you're not always right and you're not always wrong, but if we come out learning either way, I think everyone really wins because you're not really there to go, hey, I have to be right. It's like, I have to learn whether I'm right or I'm wrong. But if I'm learning, it doesn't matter if I'm right or I'm wrong because if I'm wrong, I have the opportunity to be right because I have the opportunity to learn whatever this new information was and adapt from that and change. And then from then on, I can go, well, now I know this. I don't have to be wrong anymore because I know this. I'm no longer ignorant to whatever this fact was that I didn't know or information. I can go, well, I now have this information and I can choose that and go, well, this, like, wrong is only like,
It's only the belief of
it's
what it is.
temporary.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like,
and anybody can, whatever is wrong to you can be right for somebody else. So we just have to kind of roll with it and understand where they're coming from
well,
instead
even
of
though it's
just having
math,
to be
though,
right for us.
like if you were wrong, if it was like 2 plus 2 equals 4, well, you put 5. Okay, well, how do you fix that? Well, now once you learn 2 plus 2 equals 4, you're not going to go 2 plus 2 equals 5. No, you've learned that. 2 plus 2 equals 4. But there's so many things as humans that we just don't really know,
Yeah, but I mean, even
or we have one perspective and we haven't even seen or heard the other perspective. And then that comes into play and we're like, oh shit, my my brain until this moment never even allowed me to comprehend or think of that. Like I have truly never even thought of that as a reality. And I mean, I know that's happened to me. There's been quite a few times in life that it was like, oh shit, I've never even thought of that. Even things with relationships. When I met Emily and it was like, oh fuck, like yeah, there's things that it's not been in my field of view that ever has ever been a reality. Or having a kid that comes out and is like, hey, I'm trans. Well, fuck, I've never even growing up, trans wasn't a reality I ever even heard of. So it's all these things. It's like, well, shit, okay. Like, we know what we know, and then new things come out, and it's like, well, all right.
Well, and
Okay.
again, I mean, that comes down to the personal choice. And that's where I mean, the right and wrong argument is, it's a different perspective. It's not necessarily right or wrong. Because when you get black and white, like the example with math, like 2 plus 4, I mean, that's something that's exact. That's like saying, well, water is not wet, it's actually dry. Like that's something that you can't argue against. Like a rock is hard. Like no one's going to argue that. But perspective is different, beliefs are
Oh, yeah.
different. And so it's just understanding where they're at. And then you as an individual can accept or not accept that. And that's up to you. Nobody else
Yeah.
can consider that wrong or right. It's just like, okay,
Because
that's your
it's,
perspective.
yeah. Well, and
And that's okay.
I think it was the band, the Rationalists that we had on. We were talking about like field of view and perception and how much of reality you can even perceive and how that can shift and change. And so, yeah, the one person's perspective or opinion is truly just that. It's only just their perspectives and opinions based on whatever small percentage of reality they've been able to view. Just the
Hmm.
same way as, I've got my small percentage of reality I've been able to view. And isn't that weird to think about that you and I could see the exact same thing, but yet not see the exact same thing?
In ways, yeah, totally. I mean, that's what reality is, whatever's in front of you. But that's the other thing too. Oh, dude, we're getting way too philosophical here.
That's okay.
This is a good strain for that, man. It lets you really open up. And even on the end of it, it feels great. I still feel awesome. I'm more clear, but less rambly. This does tend to get you rambling.
I feel it a
This is,
lot more in the rest of my body now, though.
yeah. Yeah, isn't
My
that crazy?
my
Kind of like
arms,
melts in.
my
Yeah.
hands,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
my calves a little bit. It's interesting, yeah, because it was very much up in my face. I still very much feel it in my face though.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it's just like lightness. It's
yeah.
over there. This is a fantastic straight. Betty knocked it out of the park with this. And anywhere else that you can find Jack Herrera, let us know what's like been your favorite one. We have loved this flower. We love the hot dog water, but this is way better. Way better.
What you guys
Yeah, I
been
don't.
puffing on this week?
Yeah. What are you
Let us
pairing
know.
with? You guys mixing some
Ooh.
strains? Tell us some of the combos you're coming up with. We need to do another one of those.
Oh,
That was
we do
fun.
need to do combos
We need to
return.
do them right on there and then we name them right on there. That'd be fun. We should do that.
Let's just get a whole bunch of strains and we'll mix and match them. Yep, I
Yeah,
like that.
that'd be fun.
It's great. All
Let's do
right.
that. All right,
And
kids.
if you haven't yet, leave us a review, share it with a friend.
Go to the
Tune in next
website.
week. Go to the website.
All right, guys. Take
Catch you
care.
next week.